his feelings for
20th Century is one of my favorite pictures and also among the best ever made about show business people. It was released over 50 years ago in May of 1934. Just 2 months after the first screwball comedy, It Happened One Night, and this one seems more modern. Everyone attached to this picture is a legend. It features John Barrymore's greatest comedy performance. It's the movie that made Carole Lombard a star. Screenplay by the team who wrote The Front Page, Ben Hecht and Charles MacArthur. Directed and produced by Howard Hawks. And titled after yet another legend, the famous train used to run from New York to Chicago and back, the 20th Century Limited. This picture is an American classic.
Oh, darling, darling, remember that we love each other. Who is that?
That particular train stopped running over 20 years ago, but the excitement and exhilarating pace of this movie has not been abated by time, not at all. It's as fresh, wildly irreverent, as crazily true to life about show business people as anything ever done. Though not a big success in its day, it had a remarkable impact and influence on future movies. This was the first time in pictures that the romantic leads ever did comedy as outrageous.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Barrymore as the gigantically egomaniacal Broadway director-producer Oscar Jaffe, who takes shop girl Mildred Plotka, turns her into a huge star named Lily Garland.
Oh, Miss Garland.
My name is Plotka. It's a good name, too, just as good as Jaffe. I wanted to be an actress, but I won't crawl on my stomach for any man. You find somebody else.
Of course, Jaffe seduces Garland into the bargain. They live together, have one hit after another. Finally, she gets fed up with his possessiveness and jealousy, and she leaves him. His next 3 shows are all bombs while she becomes the biggest thing in Hollywood. He broke, she at her peak. Both end up on the 20th Century, going to New York.
Doesn't he know about us? I thought everybody knew. It's one of the great romances of our time.
I broke it in Chicago.
This is John Barrymore's funniest, most audacious comedy performance. Orson Welles once told me that both he and Laurence Olivier were totally mesmerized and much influenced by it in their comedy work. Barrymore had started out on the stage, became a matinee idol in comedy, then switched under pressure to dramatic parts, became known as a great tragedian with, they called him this, the great profile. In 20th Century, he kids not only his own dramatic performances, but his famous profile, too. Having put on a fake nose to avoid a sheriff, he removes it.
If I'm a genius, Oliver, it's because of my failure. Always remember that.
Hawks had worked in silent comedies, but 20th Century was his first talking comedy, with a breakneck pace and fast, savvy, tough dialogue and an overlapping style which Orson Welles supposedly brought in with Citizen Kane. It started here, and later in Hawks' Bringing Up Baby and His Girl Friday. Amazingly, the whole picture was shot in 3 weeks.
Now you forget who I am. You can't talk to me this way.
Lombard had never done a role like this before, and I once asked Hawks how he had come to cast her in the sort of part which then became her trademark. He answered that he'd seen her at a party with a couple of drinks in her, and she was hilarious and uninhibited. But, Hawks told me, when she came to shoot, she was emoting all over the place, trying very hard, but was just dreadful. Barrymore was very patient. They tried it a few times, but she was so stilted and stiff. Finally, Hawks called lunch early and said to Lombard, "Let's take a walk." And he asked her how much money she was getting paid on this picture. She told him, and he said, "Well, what would you do if I told you that you'd earned your whole salary this morning and didn't have to act anymore?" Well, she was stunned. Hawks said, "Now forget about the scene. What would you do if somebody said such and such to you?" And she said, "I'd kick him in the..." And Hawks said, "Well, he said something like that to you. Why don't you kick him?" And she said, "You kidding?" And Hawks said, "No." So they went back and after lunch tried the scene again, did 1 take, and that was it.
Call the conductor.
Call the conductor. I'll tell the world who's a fake. You are. I taught you everything you know, even your name.
After this shot, Hawks told me, Barrymore exclaimed, "That was fabulous," and Lombard burst into tears, ran off the set. And Hawks said she never began a picture that she didn't send him a telegram that read, "I'm going to start kicking him." For all their zaniness, these people know themselves, though there's little they seem to be able to really do about it.
That's the trouble with you, Oscar. With both of us. We're not people. We're lithographs. We don't know anything about love unless it's written and rehearsed. We're only real in between curtains. Oh, I can't stand it. Open the window! I'm hot!